Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 50 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months, and today is our day 50. So you can see we have come, I can say, too far, and we are about to round off for the entire class in the next coming 2 weeks. Today is the beginning of week 8. So I told you at the end of week 10, maybe week 11 will be like overview of everything. And then week 12 and the rest will be for you to do your assignments. Or maybe week 10 will finish everything. 11, 12, and the rest will be for you to go and do your assignments. That's the capstone projects. Like always, we start by showing our outlines. This is our today's outlines. So as we can see, we are to talk about a recap on yesterday. Yesterday's assignment, and I believe you are there doing the assignment, which is, I think, one of the most simplest assignment or easiest one given throughout this boot camp, which is assignment of week 7. So I believe you are still doing the assignment, which tomorrow will, it is the deadline. We will solve the assignment by tomorrow. So there is no extension for this assignment. We will not extend anything. So by tomorrow we will solve the assignment. We will continue because we are at the verge of coming to an end of everything. So by default, I'm not going to extend anything. We are going to close it tomorrow. So today will discuss also about introduction to data visualization, and after the introduction, then we'll discuss about bar charts, column chart, clustered bar charts, clustered column chart, and we'll talk about the stacked bar charts. These are what we'll cover for the day. This data visualization, when we talk about data visualization, we are discussing or we are talking about the graphical representation of a particular data. That means if you want to maybe present your data, if you want to allow people to see what your data is, you just want to represent that particular data in a form of maybe graph, diagram, map, or something like that. That's what visualization of data is all about. That is the graphical representation of particular data. So at the end of everything, when we are done with the analysis of everything, we clean the data, you analyze all what you want to analyze, you did whatever you want to do. The next thing is to create a visualization about that particular data. That is something that will tell people, or that will tell layman or common man to understand what you have done. Because if you show people the rough page of the work you have done, nobody can understand what you did. Nobody. A lot of people will just think like you are just messing up and you are just, doing rubbish on the page, something like that. Nobody can understand or can simply understand what you have done. But if you represent that work in a graphical format or in a something that by mere looking at it, people will easily understand what you have done, that's what visualization is all about. So by mere looking at one single chart, as you can see, one single chart can show the trend of the Nigerian foreign exchange. One single chart can show that particular trend. So the whole data related to Nigeria, that worldwide data related to Nigeria foreign forex market or foreign exchange market, that particular chart is showing the what is happening. It's showing what is really happening around the world related to particular currency. So that's the visualization of it. If the data is given to you, a lot of people will not understand the data, because if you give them 2.3, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, this and that, people will get confused. People will not even understand what you mean. You will not even understand what you are saying. Exactly, that is what applying to all these stock market that you are seeing, brokers, this and that. All this capital market, you cannot understand it. Even by giving you the raw data, you have the numbers, you have the figures, you cannot understand that. But when there is a graphical representation of that particular data, you will understand. But maybe looking at maybe you see a red dot, or you see a red line, or you see something red, you know that that particular red is showing something else. Or maybe you see the falling and rising of a particular line chart or something like that. You know it's definitely telling you something. Even if you didn't understand how that particular thing come to being, but you'll understand that this particular chart is showing something and is telling you exactly something. So that's what this data visualization is all about. It's just an overview for you to know what this data visualization is about. And take note, Excel has its own way of visualization data. So that's why I told you right from the beginning, Excel is is one of the most, I've told you, is the worldwide acceptable tool for data analysis. And it is also most versatile among them because you can use it to do everything. But there are certain, if you want, maybe you want to advance your skill on data visualization. Data visualization alone is a particular profession on its own. It's a skill on its own. If you want to master data visualization, there are other tools you can advance yourself in to learn. There are tools like Tableau. There are tools like, Power BI. You can go and learn such. There are lots of them that you can learn. Even in some programming languages, for example, like UCR, there are a lot of tools that are related to visualization, like ggplot and others. So all of these, if you want to advance your skills on visualization alone, data visualization alone, so you can master such particular skills so that you can advance your skills and you can be more perfect in it. But take note, I'm not saying you cannot be perfect using Excel. You can, because whatever you can do there, you can use Excel to do that. Any diagram or any dashboard you saw created in any other tool, you can do same in Excel in as much as you mastered Excel. So there are standard tools, softwares that are meant for data visualization alone. So you can come across them. I just mentioned some of them, so don't get confused. So such particular tools or softwares are purposely meant for data visualization. So data visualization is something else. So you can be a data analyst without without learning how to visualize a data. Take note on this. When I say analysis of data, we are talking about pinpointing some things, analyzing of data. That's what we meant. So you can know how to analyze data, get the percentage, get the average, count this, count that, compare this, get the percentage this, percentage decrease, percentage whatever, everything you can get that. But if you don't know how to visualize a data, then you have a problem. You have a big problem. And there are certain people that they have no idea how to do analysis of data, but they are very good in visualization of data. They can create good looking charts for you. So if you can give them a chart after you have done the analysis, just give them everything. They can create awesome charts. Some they use graphics design to do the charts, not necessarily using all these charts that we know. So they will use graphic design to customize a very good looking chart to make it looks awesome, this and that. There are people that are very good at visualization of data. So please, you should take note on this. So that's it. So what I just want to talk about to present this, I have just a little presentation to show you that is the purpose of visualization of data. So there are things that you need to understand that has to do with the visualization of data. These purposes are things that you should understand. Any type of visualization or any type of graph you are going to use need to come under these particular four purposes. So these are what I will just talk about in brief so that you will understand about this before we continue. Number one of this, so we have this C comparison, we have D for distribution, we have another C for composition, and the last is R for relationship. Let's talk about this comparison. There are certain data that certain graphs and charts that we use for comparison. We use them to compare a particular set of data across different categories. So when we have a data is given to us and we have different categories of that particular data. So we use this types of charts that falls under comparison charts, we use them to visualize such particular data. So any data that we can use to compare the values of the data across different categories and across different time, we need to compare them. For example, we have a data of west region, for example, regional data that has west, east, south, and others. And maybe we have a total product sale in each of the regions. So if we want to compare such particular sales by region, that is what is totally sold, what was totally sold. If we want to compare such, then we use these types of charts to compare this particular data. That when we use comparison data. And we have another one that has to do with this distribution data. So this distribution, we use it to show the distribution of a particular data. For example, a data was given to us. We want to know the distribution, that is the amount, that is the figure belongs to a particular data. If we want to know that, then we use the distribution.
Sorry, you're breaking.
Can you hear me? Hello?
So your network is breaking, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, that's great. So you use this particular distribution. There are charts related to distribution. So you use this to show the distribution of a particular data. For example, I have males and females across all these regions that I've just mentioned. So I want to know the distribution of males and females. I'm not comparing them. I just want to know how many males I have, how many females I have. So I use the charts that belong under this distribution. We use such charts, such graphs to show this particular data that has to do with distribution. Then the next one is the composition. This composition illustrates the part and whole relationship within the variables. For example, now, we use this particular chart that falls under composition in order for us to show the relationship, part of a relationship, or the whole of a relationship within the variables. We have our variables. We want to show the relationship between the variable. So this has to do with I did something that has to do with this machine learning. When you have y and we have x, so when x go this, y goes up. So that relationship between them. For example, if I want to use the distance and the way people are purchasing something, or I want to use the weather and the way people are purchasing books or something like that, all this to show the relationship between the variable. That is, there is a relationship between weather and purchasing of maybe books, or let's say holiday, school holiday, and purchasing of books or buying of rice or something like that, to show the relationship between either partly relationship or whole relationship of a data. There are charts that falls under composition, and these are the charts we use. The last one has to do with this relationship. This relationship is used to show the trend and interaction between two or more variables. Two or more variables. That's the reason why this relationship purpose is there. These are the charts that we use to show this relationship or trend. That's why I just made mention of Forex market, because it's the data that will show the trend of something or the interaction between a particular something. That's why you see in all this trend, it has to do with the rising and falling of a particular maybe currency, rising and falling of a particular something. But this has to do with it over a period of time, because it's showing that over a period of time, maybe at 9 a.m. the dollar is 750, at 10 a.m. it becomes 790, at 11 p.m. So that trend that is showing, it's what it means, because it's showing the trend and the interaction between two or more variables within a data. So this is why we need to use this relationship charts. So all these that I've just mentioned to you, there are charts that fall under comparison, there are charts that fall under distribution, there are charts that fall under relationship, and there are also charts that fall under composition. So I'm going to explain all this one after the other, bit by bit. We're going to take them whenever we discuss about a chart. Then understand this, because when you ask, you are the one to tell yourself, is this related to what I'm going to do? If it's because this visualization, it's you need to understand it. Nobody can tell you what to do, but you will be guided on this is the reason that will make you to use a particular visualization within a particular analysis. So you need to understand that it depends on what you are doing. It depends on how you arrived at a particular result and what type of data is with you and what type of data is you analyze or you are analyzing. So you need to understand all this. So you need to please understand this theoretical aspect, because when we start doing it, you will not get confused, because whatever we are going to do has to do with this particular thing that we just mentioned. Are we comparing something? No. Are we showing the distribution of something? No. Are we illustrating a part or whole relationship of something? No. Are we showing the trend or interaction of something? So you ask yourself, based on that, then you know the type of chart you are going to use. So this is it, and this is what I'm going to talk about for this. And the next thing we are going to talk about, then we'll continue, because I've already said that in our outlines, we are going to discuss these things. We are going to discuss bar charts. We are going to discuss column charts. All these charts I've just mentioned, we are going to discuss them. So now what will happen? Let's just start with the bar charts. So let's just go to the data and start the work. I'm not going to answer questions anymore. I think let's just do it so that you people will understand it better. So now you are just given a data like this. You're given a data like this, and this is how the data looks like. So first of all, you want to know, for example, we have cells 1, cells 2, cells 3. Like I just mentioned, we have east, west, and something. We have all this. So you go ahead, you analyze the data. I've already told you all this has to do with you think by yourself. What and what are you going to analyze? First, that's the question you want to answer. What and what are you going to analyze? So please, in this class, pay attentively to understand. I'm not going, because like I told you, this week is the final week that I'm going to ask you questions. All the next coming 3 assignments that you're going to do, I'm not going to ask you any question. I'm just giving you a data. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do in the data. Based on what you have done, that will get you marks. So now look at the data first. What and what do we want to know? That's what you need to understand. What and what do we want to know here in the data? Let me see it in the chat. Please, let me see it in the chat. What and what do we want to know? Let's just analyze the data. Look at the data. We have serial number, salesman, region, products sold 2021, 2022, 2023, and gender. What and what we want to know? What and what are we going to analyze? Because we want to analyze the data first before we did the visualization. So please, let's just say something related to this so that I can see maybe if you can do something, because yeah, I can just go ahead and do it myself, but I just want you to just say something. Please say it in the chats. I'm listening. I'm waiting for you. You have 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Hello, can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can cross-check which year has more. Sum the total product sold from each region. Yeah, that's number one thing. Thank you. We are going to do that. Products sold from each region. Yeah, so we are going to do that. We can analyze the percentage and average. Yeah, we are going to do that. Then what? Okay, sorry, my network just goes off. Okay, so let me just show you something. Let me just show you what to do. Let me just show you this. So first of all, we need to just get the region, because the region is something that has to do with different people that we have here. So we need to use the region first as our maybe it can be the something that we'll use to get all what we need related to this data. So we are going to say we have east, we have north, south, and west. These are the 4 regions that we have. So first of all, I think let's get the total salesmen. Total salesman. I will just say total salesman. So how are we going to get the total salesman? Please, somebody should help. Sorry, I'll just share my screen. I'm sorry. I thought I shared my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen, please? This region in order for us to categorize whatever we want to do. So I'm sorry, my network is very bad. I don't know what is wrong with my network just now. I'm sorry. Maybe we can call it a day. Okay. So we need to calculate total salesmen. How are we going to do it? Please, somebody should help. But let me just remove this. Let me just do this. Let's say we need to know product of each. Okay, let's say product sold 2021. Let me just do it so that we can call it a day. So product sold 2021, product sold 2022, and product sold 2023. That's what we need to know by each region. So how do we get that, please? Count ifs. Okay, so take us through count ifs so that we can get it. Tell us what we are going to do. Just say the formula equals to. Just say the formula, please. I'm listening. Yeah, my network is bad. Maybe I think we will call it a day now. Someone says if someone say count if, please, whatever formula, just write the formula. Whatever we are going to use, just write it. Sum if. Okay, someone says some ifs. So write whatever we are going to take. Okay, let me just do it. So just highlight this, comma, then the criteria we are looking for the east. So I'm just going to click on the east. First of all, I will highlight, I will just lock this. Then I'll put comma. Then I'll highlight the last one is the sum range. Then I'll highlight this for the 2021. Press enter. It will give me this for the east. And I will drag it down to give me for all of them. That's what we are going to do. Please, what do you say? Can we call it a day? I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know what is wrong. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can, let's call it a day, because this class is very important. If you can't hear me, what I don't see any reason why we can continue. Okay, so some we can hear you, some we can't hear you. I don't even know what is what is going on. Okay, so seriously, we are going to stop here. I think the only thing I can do, if you have a question, please ask your question. Let me just answer the question, please. Just ask your question related to this that we just did, so that tomorrow we can continue where we stop. Yeah, we can call it a day. But ask your question. If you have a question, just ask it in the chat. I don't even think if you can hear me. Hello. Okay, please, let's call it a day, please. Today's class, you can't hear me. I think we can call it a day. Let's call it a day. Maybe if you have a question, just chat. Let's talk in the group about what we just discussed on the purposes, so that tomorrow we continue. Let's call it a day, please. Have a wonderful dream. Have a wonderful dream. Good night. Let's talk in the chats, in the WhatsApp group, please. Good night.